because I normally forget. All right. So we are recording. We are planning for April 12th through April 18th. So I'm going to just start diving right in. If you don't have your personal life in your planner, you can come back and put your personal life in after. Going forward, if you want to have your personal life already kind of in your planner before we hop on, that works great too. This way you can start planning around it, but it's something you can always do later too. If you don't have a planner, no worries, you guys, just get a piece of paper. You literally can plan your week and plan your day with a piece of paper. So you don't have to have a fancy calendar. If you want one, great. If you have one, awesome. If you don't, grab a piece of paper and you can literally plan your days accordingly to that. So we are going to start off by writing our goals for the week. So what are your goals for the week? How many people would you like to help get on the products as a customer? How many people would you like to help become promoters? How many trial packs would you like to sell? And I don't care what last week showed. I don't care what the week before showed. If you haven't enrolled a customer in the last 30 days, I don't care. Don't just put one person. How many lives do you want to change this week, right? I don't want you to stay, I don't want you to go too crazy where your goal seems like, oh my gosh, I couldn't hit it, but I don't want you to be comfortable, right? So I want you to kind of challenge yourself when you're deciding what your goals are, but I don't want you to take what your past has shown you. I don't want you to take what last week showed you. I don't want you to take what the last month showed you, and allow that to dictate what you possibly could enroll. Because I'm telling you this much, you can go from not enrolling anybody in weeks to enrolling 5 people in 1 week. Okay. I know it because it just happened for me too. So I'm speaking from experience, y'all, when I say that. You can go from enrolling not many to enrolling in abundance. It's all right here. It's all the mind shift, the mindset shift, and those limiting beliefs that you have to knock out. When Lindsay or other, for me, Lindsay's my upline, but for any of you guys, right? Any of your uplines, if you're coming in from a different, upline or anything, or any preaching that you hear on all of our trainings, when they say limiting beliefs, what you have up here is what's limiting you. It's the dang truth, y'all. If you want your business to change, you want your enrollments to change, you got to figure out what's going on up here. And you need to stop those limiting beliefs. And sometimes a lot of people I'll hear, well, I'm not in that mindset. But then when you're talking to them, you hear things, you hear words. And sometimes I'm like, okay, well, you don't believe that, but you just said this, right? So sometimes if you find yourself like, why am I not enrolling? What's going on? All this kind of stuff. I want you to check what's going on between here. Not what you sometimes say, what you're thinking too, right? So go ahead and write out your goals for customers, promoters, trial packs, reels, and lives. We get uncomfortable here, y'all. So if you've never done a reel, if you have never done a live, this is your week. So if you're just hopping in from the waiting room, we are writing out our goals for the week. From customers to promoters to trial packs to reels and to lives. Now, if you are with me on these all the time, and you guys had some wins from last week or things that you did with your calendar planning, I want you to drop that in the chat. Shout out your wins. Let us know, things that maybe you wrote down. Maybe you wrote down signing 4 customers and you did sign 4 customers, or you wrote down signing 4 customers and you signed 2, but you hadn't signed any from last week. Like, even if you didn't hit the full goal, I want to hear the wins, so you can feel free to drop them in the chat. So now we have our customers, our promoters, our trial packs, our reels, and our lives, our goals for the week, right? So now we are going to plan off of that. But before we do that, I want you guys, if you are on your phone listening to this Zoom, you can just swipe up and kind of put me off to the side for a minute. I want you to go and do a social media audit. What does that mean? I want you to go and look at your social media, and I want you to ask yourself, do people know what I have to offer? Do they know I have products to offer them that will do X, Y, and Z? Do people know I have a business to offer them that will do X, Y, and Z? Do people know who I am? Am I sharing who I am? Am I sharing my fives? Would somebody in the last week be able to look at me and look at my social media and get to know me, get to know my vibes, get to know my, what I stand for, get to know my personality. Personality comes through on reels a lot, you guys. It also comes through on your photos and pictures and all that, but lives and reels are a great way for people to really get to know your personality, right? So that's why video is so important. People buy you. And people buy you because they know, like, and trust you. So what better way to get them to know, like, and trust you than by really showing who you are? So go ahead and do a social media audit. This is something that I know leaders speak on very, very often. And it is, would you like buy from you, right? Would you hire you? Would you fire you? That sort of thing. So I want you to look at your social media. For me personally, what I put on my Instagram goes onto my Facebook. So when I'm auditing, I can really audit my my Instagram and know what also hit my Facebook too. But I still look over all of them. I don't look at likes. I don't look at how many comments because that doesn't matter to me. It matters, am I being authentic? Am I being me? And am I bringing to my network that value, showing them what I have, so on and so forth. So we're going to take a couple minutes right now. This is also a great time, you guys, when you're looking at your posts. Maybe you didn't talk about the auto bonus this week. I don't care if you have the auto bonus now or you don't. Did you talk about the auto bonus? If you didn't, I want you to write that down somewhere in your calendar that you want to talk about the auto bonus this week. Maybe you didn't talk about like all that we have to offer, right? The bullet points, like the meat and potatoes, meaning you can run your business for free every single month. You can earn free products. We have the $800 cash bonuses, the $4,000 bonus till the end of the month. No cold messaging, right? We have all of that kind of stuff. The meat and potatoes, maybe you haven't done that in a while and you need to do a meat and potatoes kind of post, right? And get bold there and share that. So I like to look back at mine and see, what did I talk about? What did I not talk about? And that's how I decide what I'm going to talk about this week. It doesn't always have to be like, you guys, your posts don't always have to have 10 things in them that you're talking about. You don't have to always talk about the free product, the no cold messaging, the 1,400, 1,300 plus in your first 14 days, right? Yes, having a post with all of those, all the meat and potatoes is great, but then break it down, right? You can talk just one post about running your business for free every single month. You can talk about having like a zinger with that, like having a zinger with that, or just the auto bonus, just talking about the auto bonus, just talking about the VIP bonuses. Y'all, $800 in your first 14 days would change so many lives. I don't care how much money you do or don't have. $800 can do some impactful things in your life, whether you have the money or you don't, right? So stop sitting on that, because whether somebody, like I always say, and I try to think this way too, I stay out of their pocketbook. I don't let my money beliefs or anything like that dictate what they're going to do, what they may need, what they may buy, so on and so forth. Like I have a lot of people that, that I talk to that will like talk about the products and immediately offer a trial because it's only $25 or $20 or $30, whatever you sell. And I'm like, why aren't you offering them the 30-day? Why? I offer everybody the 30-day, $150. Get you a free box of shakes with that, babe. Because a lot of times I don't run sales, different sales. Sometimes I do, but a lot of times for my first time customers, I am signing them on that $150 pack with that $44 value that they're getting for free off of that other box of shakes. Because when I started here, it was $198 or whatever it is to have a full month of shakes of the whole 3 steps. So that $150 pack, if you're new, that's all you know. I want you to know that is gold. So share that. Stay out of their pocket. They may, like I have so many people that I say that to them. They come to me off of a trial. If I'm talking about trial packs and they say, I want a trial, I still let them know the other options that they have. I tell them, all right, awesome. I do have those trial packs I was talking about in my live video or whatever. But I also want you to know your other options you have too. and I have a 1 month and I break it down what they get. Also, it's a free box of lifestyle mix. I can get you that. So it's going to save you $44, or I offer the 2 weeks sometimes. But a lot of times I just offer the 150 pack. And do you know how many of my people that come in on trials, meaning come to me because they see I'm talking about trials and decide just to do the 150 pack? Because they'll say to me, okay, so you're saying that the trial pack is more of like a touch, see, feel thing. I'm probably going to get more like to know more of how I feel on these products by the 1 month, right? And I say, yeah, but it's ultimately up to you what you prefer to do. But let's be real, you guys, the longer you're on these products, the better you're going to feel, right? So make sure you're offering that. Sorry, sometimes I get off on tangents if you're new. I'm Christina Tammy too, by the way. I don't even know if I introduced myself in case there's anybody new on here. So, all right, so we're looking over our social media and we are seeing what we got going. Also look at your pictures. So like for me, I like to look like this is obviously the last 9, right? But that's a majority of what people see. Okay. And like yesterday, I looked at it and was like, I think it was the other day, I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't posted about a mug. Like I haven't posted a picture with a mug, which is who I am as part of my brand. I'm a mug person. You'll see me in my stories all the time. I hadn't posted my dog, which is like huge. He's my like number one. I'm a stay-at-home fur mom. So I looked back and was like, okay, I need to get a picture with a mug up in there because like, that's part of my branding. I need to get a picture of me and my dog because that's who I am too. So that's kind of too like how I use my 5 sometimes to look at pictures. I love home decor. So a lot of times I like to make sure my home is somewhere in my background. I don't leave my house. So my home is always in my background, but I always try to make sure that that's there too. So, look at your 5s. When we say your 5s or your branding, a lot of times those are things you guys can do as well. It's like, look back and see like, okay, you know what I mean? That's what I did with my pictures. So then I knew my next 2 pictures, I wanted one to have a mug. I wanted one to have my dog in it. So now that we went over our social media, we are now going to plan our week of content. So this is what I say, you guys, and everybody is different. Okay. I will write out what I want to talk about just so I have an idea. Does that mean every single day I'm specifically talking about that? No, because if something else pops in my head and something is on my heart, I will share that and I may move things around. But I can tell you by having an idea, my mind is already starting to flow on that topic. So, like, whatever I write down for tomorrow, I'm already thinking about it today. And a lot of times I'm coming up with my post right now because I've already planted that seed in my brain. Okay. So, again, we looked over our social media, we saw what we did for last week. We picked out all the things, right? So now you can see different areas and topics that you may want to talk about. So we're going to take the next couple minutes and you can write that down. So if you are newer, you can do, like product promoter, product promoter, right? And then you can dig in. So you can even like, let's say right now, you really don't know what you want to talk about, but tomorrow you want to talk about the products, just write down product. And then you can go off of your 5s list. The next day you can write down promoter and then you can go off of your 5s list. We are about mid-month right now, right? So we are at the 12th. So this is where you need to check. Do you have your 2 customers? Are you thriving for free already? Because if you are, you can go and maybe change your style to do product promoter, so on. Maybe you don't have your 2 customers to thrive for free yet. So maybe this week, maybe you want to do, every other, we'll start with product. So you have 4 product posts, maybe 3 promoter posts. This way you can try to get those 2 customers to thrive for free. So I'm going to mute myself so I can get mine written down too. So we'll take a couple minutes and then and I'll look at the chat too. Sorry, I see it blowing up. And we're going to write down what we're going to post. Now, when it comes to the weekends, you guys, I a lot of times leave those open because the company does drop promos, right? We always have some type of promo, whether it be free shipping or sculpt or something. And sometimes they don't, but I will make my own promos depending on how many credits I have left. If you don't have any credits, y'all, like I said, that 150 pack that I mentioned in the beginning is huge. That's a promo. That could be your promo that they're getting that free box of shakes. So you have a free product for anybody that's getting on the 3 steps. So I like to kind of hold off what I'm going to talk about on the weekends because I like to see what the company may drop. And if not, then I kind of drop my own thing, right? So if you didn't see like the wins that are being shouted out in the chat, that was awesome, you guys. Like that just made my heart so happy seeing how you're planning and how you're going above it and how things are happening. Y'all, I absolutely love it. And then I know Lynn's answered some of the questions about do you only post once a day and that sort of thing. So this is where you really have to look at your goals too, right? So I wrote trial packs down. I got to figure out where in my day or in my week, I'm sorry, that I'm going to talk about trial packs, whether it be in my stories. I a lot of times like to do it in my stories, but I also like to go live on Facebook. And when I go live on Facebook, I will pack trial packs, but talk about other things as well, like life. And that seems to be really where I get a lot of people coming in about trial packs. So I like to do that. So I'm going to put that down, right? Because if I wrote down trial packs, but I don't have anywhere on my calendar, whether it be stories or whatever, to not talk about it, how am I going to sell trial packs? If you wrote down that you wanted customers and promoters, but you don't talk about what we have for the customer side and the products to offer or what the promoter side has to offer people, how are you going to sign them, right? So that is why your goals have to also match what's on your calendar. Now, for me, going in my stories every single day are non-negotiables. So when I write down biz, product, biz, or what I want to talk about, that's my post for the day. Because in my stories, I'm always showing my 3 steps, or for me, it's my steps. So I'm always showing my products. I do Christmas in Christina's cup. That's just something that I do. And it's just, I drink candy cane every single day. So that's why I call it Christmas in Christina's cup. And I like to go on sometimes and just like talk that I'm drinking it. And sometimes I talk about home decor. Sometimes I talk about the business. Sometimes I talk about the products. I'm always sharing an opportunity post for the day, right? Because if you work your business today, as we've always heard, right? You work your business today, great. You got to come and show up tomorrow because there are new people constantly going to be seeing your stuff. You're adding to your network every single day. New people are coming in every single day, new eyes. So they don't know what you did yesterday in your stories because it falls off. So every single day, it may seem like you feel like you're doing the same thing on repeat, but that's the point, you guys. We just share consistently and we share what we're doing every single day. And people will be like, okay, so she's been talking about this for like 3 weeks. I've been watching her. What is it? Right? So don't ever think that because you're talking about the same thing every single day that it's boring, because it's not. People are watching you. If you're bored doing it, find a fun new way to bring it to your network, whether it be going face to face, doing boomerangs. There's so many different ways. You guys get creative with it. Yes, I'm recording it. And then it'll go up on my YouTube channel. It's Christina Tammy. I'll post it by the end of the day today. Okay. So now we have our goals written out. We did a social media audit. So you guys kind of know what you need to do, right? And I'm not just talking post wise. Look at your pictures, right? Like I said, I needed new pictures to hit my branding, to hit who I am. If you need photos for the week, like maybe you are out of content, my selfies folder is something I always go into and I reuse photos because if you don't have an iPhone, I don't know if Androids do this, but iPhones have a selfie folder. So I always go into my selfies folder and I take out pictures from there. But if not, write down that you need to take some content photos. It takes a couple minutes, you guys. You don't even have to look all fancy, right? You have a filter that's going to go on it. It's going to make it look aesthetically pleasing, right? You don't have to always be done up to the nines. Stop overcomplicating it. Stop overcomplicating it. Okay. So sometimes some of my best pictures that get the most likes are literally me with my glasses, frizzy hair. And it's like, I was literally in the bathroom and was like, I'm going to snap a photo. And that gets the most interactions. So don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it. I think one from last week, I was falling over when the timer went off. And I literally got messages of people saying how much they loved that photo of me. It was one of their favorite photos. And it happened to I literally thought I missed the timer because I was falling over, but it actually captured a good shot. And I posted it. It's a little blurry, whatever. I didn't care. I was like, it's in the moment. It went with what I was going to talk about. So you guys, everything doesn't have to be perfect, right? So if you need content, write that down. If you need to create new story slides, right? Write that down in your planner. Get organized on when you want to do it. Assign a day to it. Sorry, I'm looking at the chat too. Okay. So now we're going to write down the work with me's and Zooms that we have. Okay. So all of the work with me's are going to be on M's Zoom ID, which is 666-188-9698. Oh my gosh, I just had a brain freeze. Y'all, I have this thing memorized. It's so when I type it, I know. And I just had a brain freeze. Hold that thought. Okay, it's 9698. That's what I thought, but then for some reason I got all crazy on myself. So it's 666-188-9698. That's all of the work with me's through the week. When I say it, I will let you know when there are different Zoom link IDs. I will share that with you. And everything is Eastern Standard Time. So if you are in a different time zone, just adjust. Okay. So on Mondays, we have a 7:30 a.m. work with me. On Monday nights at 9 p.m. is Lynn's team trainings that anybody is welcome to. And that is on her Zoom ID, which is the one you guys are on for this. So that's the 979-180-2986. On Tuesdays, we have a 7:30 p.m. work with me. We have a 9 p.m. Zoom. Christina Brill does her downline Zooms. And her Zoom ID is 576-789-8888. Wednesday, we have 10 a.m. work with me. And then we have a 9 p.m. Zoom, and that's on the same ID with the work with me's. That's the Hustling Tribe Zoom. On Thursday, we have a 9 a.m. work with me. And then we also have a 9 p.m. opportunity event. So that is normally posted in the chats in the team page. That's on Facebook. It is like a live event that you can go ahead and invite your potentials to. And this is what I like to say to people. If you are newer and you are finding it uncomfortable to talk about the products, uncomfortable to talk about the business, you're trying to learn your footing, trying to learn some verbiage, that sort of thing, hop on those. Because some leader is sharing their story. They're going to talk about the 3 steps. They're going to talk about the business. It helps to hear people speak out and hear different stories as well. A lot of times they share their stories. So that is normally a leader in some way that is sharing their story, sharing about the product, sharing about the business. So what it does for your potentials, it allows them to have that third-party validation, right? To have just like a different look at it from always maybe seeing your stuff. So it's a great thing to have them come there, but it also helps you to learn other stories. So when you're talking to people, you can be like, oh my gosh, yeah, this one girl on my team, such and such, right? Like I have MS. I'm very open about it. I share that. So I have people constantly from other sideline sisters and everything that come and ask me questions that will say like, I have somebody that has MS and they have a couple questions. Do you mind if I ask you? And then they know my story to be able to relate to that person too, so that they feel comfortable, right? So maybe you have a teacher that comes to you and wants to do this, and you hear somebody's story that is a teacher that's doing it. You're not a teacher, but they are. You can now relate and be like, oh my gosh, yeah, one of, my sideline sisters, Christy, she's a teacher and her story's so awesome, and you know what I mean? You can kind of relate. So that's Thursdays at 9 p.m. It's normally 9 p.m. It's a live event. And then it gets posted in like the hustling page. And then it normally gets posted in chats. So on Friday, we have a 10:30 a.m. work with me. On Saturday, we have an 11 a.m. work with me. And on Sunday, we plan. And that's where you guys are at right now, 11:30 a.m. on this Zoom. We plan. And that's where you guys are at right now, 11:30 a.m. on this Zoom. Did that just like repeat for anybody else? Y'all, I swear this has been doing this to me. It's creepy. Well, I think we just needed to hear that twice. That's why I did it. 11:30 a.m. planning. Okay. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. There was a glitch. So keep in mind, you guys, that I am under Lindsay. So I am on the Limitless Tribe. So these Zooms that I am giving you are according to that, right? The Limitless leaders and so on. There are other leaders. So your leader may have an optional Zoom that they offer as well on certain nights and so on. So I don't know all of them. So just kind of keep that in mind. I like to just like throw that out there because I've had people ask me about like such and such a Zooms and so Zooms. I don't know everybody's. I don't know if they're always the same time, the same night. I know this schedule. So this is the schedule I give you between the hustling Zooms and then the limitless ones, which everybody is welcome to all of them. So now we have everything written out in our planner, right? Y'all, we have our goals. We have our Zooms, we have the work with me's, we have, all of the things, right? But what comes next is up to you. What does your business need? What I want you to do too, this is something I read in my chat today, which is so huge, you guys, is picking that focused IPA, which you will hear about in the boot camp with Linz. So if you haven't started the boot camp, it's in the Hustling Tribe page. It's under the units. Go do the boot camp. Y'all, it is like being in someone's brain who's at the top of the company, who shares, like I literally felt like I was in her brain, knowing everything she thinks, how she works her business, all broken up into bite-sized pieces, right? And that is so huge. So if you have not done the boot camp, I say it every week, go do the boot camp, okay? But I want you to also this week, pick your focus IPA and really decide after you do your full round of IPAs, what's your focused round of IPAs? What's going to help your business? I can't help you determine that because my business is going to be different than your business, right? So what my business might need attention to this week is different than what your business might need attention to. And she explains that in there, what the focused IPAs are. If you're not getting that interactions, if you're not getting the traction, maybe you need to do some cleaning up. Maybe your inbox isn't getting as much, people coming into it as you like, that sort of thing. That's when you're going to want to, focus those IPAs the rest of the day. I used to be somebody that tried to do all the rounds like multiple times a day. And then I felt like I was just I was overwhelmed. And she was like, no, you do your full round of IPAs, then we pick a focused IPA and we roll with it that day. And you guys know that I got so much more done doing that. I was so much more accomplished at the end of the day. I felt so much more accomplished at the end of the day by doing that. So I really suggest picking an IPA work time too. Right? We have our work with me's. They're all over the schedule, right? They're for our morning people, our night people. They're everywhere to be able to hit and be able to be there for everybody, right? So if you can't get on, like for me, 7:30 a.m., whoa. Like I'm not a morning person. I'm working on it, y'all. I'm working on it. But at 7:30 a.m., I don't even think I know how to say happy birthday. That's how like mornings are not my thing. But I got to figure it out because we want kids. So I'm working on it. But I have a scheduled IPA time for myself. Every day, it does not matter. I do my IPAs at a certain time, right? And then if I hop on another work with me, so like if my time is, let's say 10 a.m., and I on Tuesday hop on the 7:30 work with me, I'm just doing another focused round while I'm on there. So maybe I'm just doing my focused IPA. Maybe I'm creating content while I'm on there to hold me accountable because I'm there. I've already done my IPAs. I've already done my multiple rounds, whatever. I've already done it. I don't wait for the work with me's if I know my time is different. And I hope that makes sense. Some of y'all need to be doing these your IPAs in first thing in the morning before the kids and all of that. And you try to wait until 9, 10, whenever ours are, and then you feel flustered when you could have gotten it done at 6 a.m. because that's your time to get it done. So I hope that makes sense. The work with me's are amazing. Hop on them. I love them. You get tips and tricks from everybody. But if you can't get on it, if your work with me time is different, go find a work with me in our team page. There's so many on YouTube. If you need that accountability and you want to work with someone while you're doing it, go and make your own IPA time. And then the other work with me's are just that second part to your business. So the boot camp is going to be in the Hustling Thrive page, and it's under units. There's like a unit that has the boot camp, and she has it all broken down. So it's day 1 through 30, bite-sized pieces, y'all. I think like the longest video is maybe 12 minutes. I don't think they're really long at all. But she breaks down everything. She breaks down the IPA. She breaks down how she does her business as Lynn's one of the 200K leaders. And she breaks everything down for you in that boot camp. It's amazing. Oh, and you can use the search option and search boot camp. I always forget about the search option. No, Brandy, I'm working on it. All right. Another couple tips, you guys, that I do that I like to share. So this won't be new, and then we'll kind of wrap things up. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the question or in the chat, or feel free in a moment to unmute yourself and ask them. But I have in my phone a folder. I do this every single week where I put my folder that I name it April 12th through April 18th. I go through my photos. I will look and see, do I have photos already? I put my preset on them and I drop them into that folder. If I create new content, I make all my new content. So I have all my story opportunities. If I want to do product slides or anything like that, I drop them into that folder. So guess what? This week, if I'm busy, especially if you have a 9 to 5 or you're, busy with the kids or just busy with life in general, everything is right there for me. I don't have to go and find the photo, put the preset on it, all that. That takes time. So if you are saying you don't have enough time in your days, you need to utilize the time you do have to work smarter and not harder, right? So I have those folders. I drop everything in there. I will go and change. I use Canva. This was something that I was taught by Lindsay, and there is, I think, a ton of trainings on how to do Canva as well. But I do Canva a lot. You don't have to. You can do everything off of Instagram and free platforms and all that kind of stuff. But on Canva, you can just swap out the photo, which is very easy. And the text is still there. I think there's a couple other I think some other people use that I think you can do the same thing. So I will go and just swap out my photo, but the context is the same, but it looks different because I put a new photo. So my network isn't always seeing the same thing. They might be reading the same thing, but I'm catching their eye with a different photo and then they're reading it. So I will go and change the photos out, maybe change a few words, maybe, whatever, just to kind of spice it up a little bit, change the text, the font. And then I drop it in, save it and drop it into that folder. So I have everything ready for the day. So this way I can post I can get my stuff up. Everything's always done. I don't have to worry about it. This is what I do full time, you guys. I don't have any kids or anything like that. This is my full-time job. But I find myself even getting busy. So I find that having that folder is so helpful because I don't have to think. I literally just go there, grab my photo. Sometimes I write my text the day before. Sometimes I will have a creative moment where I'll write multiple texts and I'll have them saved for the week because I was just in that, the juices were flowing, right? If you are not doing personal development, you need to be doing personal development. That's one of the biggest things on your IPA list that you need to be doing. And that's where you're going to build a lot of that confidence, a lot of that belief, and that's going to help you write those bold, confident posts, right? Okay. Yeah, work smarter, not harder. Yes. Yep. It's all about preparing, you guys. And a lot of times you can prepare the night before for the next day. So tonight, you already know what you want to talk about tomorrow, right? We wrote that down. So you can come up with your post. Go find your photo. If you don't have a photo, go snap one. Throw your preset on it. You're ready to go so that tomorrow you just literally need a couple seconds to go ahead and post. Everything that I do on Instagram, I bring over to Facebook. I don't have them linked. I personally, physically bring it over to Facebook. So if I'm creating story slides, if I'm taking my life and snapping it or whatever, I have it automatically saving to my camera roll. That's an option in your settings on Instagram that you can do. It saves to your camera roll. And then I literally just go over to Facebook and I go into my stories and I pop that up in there. Right? So this way you're getting things done quicker, efficiently. You don't have to try to run two different things, right? My social medias are very different and I'm sure yours are as well, right? My Instagram has a lot of people that my Facebook does not have. So I don't worry about posting the same thing on both platforms because I have two very different groups. So do we have any other questions? I think I hit all of the things, you guys. So if you have any questions, if I did forget something that I normally talk about, I'll probably remember later and be like, shoot, that's my normal MO. But you have your goals, you have the work with me's, the Zooms, you have planned what you want to do for the day. What I do every single morning, and this may help y'all as well, is I brain dump for the day. So my personal calendar has lines. You can get a notebook, do whatever you want. And I brain dump for the day what I want to get done. I already know my IPAs are non-negotiables. I already know how many rounds of focus IPAs I want to get done. That's a non-negotiable. But if you need to write it down so you can check it off, do that. Christina Brill has a great thing. If you go into, it's Christina Marie. If you go into the hustling page and you use the search bar and you search IPAs, Christina Brill has something where she shows you all her IPAs listed out, which I'm going to show y'all. This has been a game changer. She talked about it on one of the work with me's. I think it was not last week, the week before. So she has her IPAs in her notes. Let me turn my screen down. In her notes, I don't know if y'all can see. And then there are little check marks. So there are bubbles that you can check mark. So she has all of the IPAs written out, how many rounds, so on and so forth. She gets very detailed to explain it. So if you need a little bit more, I know personally, for my leader, Lynn, she every day is dropping our IPA list that you should do. So you should already know it's the same thing every single day, the IPA list, but she posts it every single day. But if you need to write it down and you need to check it off because you're one of those people that need to do that, do that. I am someone, when I write it down on my calendar, it has to get done because it eats at me if it's written there without a check mark. When I'm lazy and procrastinating, I don't write things down. I let it stay up here. I know myself. Know yourself, right? If you're somebody that works that same way, write things down to hold yourself accountable. That's my own accountability, is me, my pen and my paper. Okay. So I brain dump everything I need to get done that day, even personal. If I need to clean the floor, I write down clean the floor. So I write down everything that I need to do for the day from business. If I need to check in with customers, we have auto ships, you guys. Make sure you're checking in with your auto ship customers. Maybe you had customers order last week. I like to track shipping. So I write down track shippings to see where things are at. I get very descriptive and I write everything down. My head and my brain, y'all, our brains have so many thoughts going all of the time. Write it down. This planner, getting organized, is here for a reason, just to help us. Let it help you. So I write down everything, right, that I need to do for the day. And then I just start marking it off. And then at the end of the day, when I sit down, I look and I'm like, boom, I got it all done because I have check marks. I know I hit all the things I wanted to for my business. I'm not going to the end of the day like, what did I even do today? Because I know what I did. And I found that I was doing that for a while, where I'd get to the end of the day and I was like, what did I even do? I don't even know. And then I felt unaccomplished. So this helps me feel accomplished. This helps me feel organized. And personally, that's how I thrive. Good word to use. I love that word. Obviously, we all love that word, but I love that word. So that is personally what I do. I brain dump, and that really helps me too. I'm just going to read the chat, you guys. And then if there's no more questions, I hope you all have a great week. I hope you all plan, get organized, find your rhythm, find your style, right? I'm here to help you get a majority of it out, but you're going to know what works best for you. And you just kind of got to play with that and flow with that. I'm constantly learning. Like I said, I just started implementing the Christina Brills thing on my phone. I love that. That was like me stepping up. That was my iOS update, right? We hear that a lot. Linz talks about that a lot, that iOS update. That was my iOS update for me to step into that next level for my business that I wanted. Oh, you are able to create new albums and label selfies to help with posts on Android. Ooh, that's good. Thank you. I don't know the Android world. Oh, I love that. All right, y'all. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you hit your goals. I hope that you make sure you stay accountable to your notebook, right? Don't just write that down. Don't just spend the time that you did with me and then never look at this notebook until next week when we do it again. Every single day, I want you to look at your goals. I want you to remember why you're here. Y'all, I want you to focus on what you are doing and know that every single day, every IPA, every little thing that you are doing is all adding up to that big thing. So keep doing all the little things because the big things are coming. So I hope you guys all have a great rest of your weekend. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.